I wasn't really worried about like the EMS part of it because I'm like, we'll figure that out. I got that down. But I was scared about like, am I going to show up and they're going to say, well, you don't have enough, traffic cones or, or
your fire extinguisher's the wrong.
Right. It's the wrong color. And, we don't like your tag and your mom dresses you funny or something. So I had no idea what to expect there. And you guys were like, don't worry about it and get it figured out. And I did, and it was actually pretty simple, especially because like, if you have good people that you're working for, like everything was really easy. That's one thing I would say is make sure that whoever you're signing up with, that they seem good.
So a little bit about your kind of first wildland fire experiences, being on the contractor side. It's easy for us to always talk about what we love, and you can, but are there things you don't like? Any words of wisdom to some structure guys coming out?
As far as being on the contractor side of things versus cooperator?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of like when I interviewed with you guys, one of the things I remember telling you when you asked, do you have any questions for us? I said, I've always done being a city fireman coming out to these things. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing as a contractor, and I'm going to need help with how to do my CTRs and stuff like that. And come to find out that's not even what they're called then. But how to do CTRs, even just the check-in process, the mob, demob, all that. That's the biggest part I was nervous about. I wasn't worried. I wasn't nervous. I don't know, I'm not trying to sound like all puffy or anything like that. I wasn't really worried about like the EMS part of it because I'm like, we'll figure that out. I got that down. But I was scared about like, am I going to show up and they're going to say, well, you don't have enough, traffic cones or, or
your fire extinguisher's the wrong.
Right. It's the wrong color. And, we don't like your tag and your mom dresses you funny or something. But so I had no idea what to expect there. And you guys were like, don't worry about it and get it figured out. And I did, and it was actually pretty simple, especially because like, if you have good people that you're working for, like, they prep you ahead. Like I had a binder with stuff from Minuteman, including like credit card for purchases and stuff. So I didn't have to worry about like paying for everything for 2 weeks and or longer. Buying fuel every single day and then having to wait to get reimbursed for it. Everything was really easy, and then knowing that like you guys were a phone call away too. And, and I took advantage of that several times to the point where I was like, I'm sorry, I got to ask this one more question. But that's one thing I would say is, make sure that whoever you're signing up with, that they seem good to go. So you don't have, I've heard a lot of horror stories. But as far as like pros, cons, differences, I don't know. When I would go out as a line medic, when I was with the city, I think it was pretty much the same, except for I did, like getting a vehicle was easier because you just take a city vehicle as opposed to having to get a rental and that type of stuff. As far as stuff out on the line, I don't think I really saw a whole lot more difference. I do think that at certain points, being a contractor, you have to be sure to act in a way to where like the division or the people that you're working with know that you know what you're doing though. I do, be it right or wrong, I do think that a lot of times when you have like, say some, LA City fire medic shows up, he and then says, hey, I'm your line medic, that there is an automatic air of, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Just because, he looks like a fireman, he's wearing probably blue pants and everything and, that type of thing. But when a contractor shows up, just straight contractor, and you're just wearing greens and yellows and you may or may not work for a city department or something, people might not right away have that confidence in you.
Okay.
So I think it's important to offset that by showing up, being professional, working for a good company. First of all, it's not screwing you, with like sending you out there
Terrible
completely,
gear.
unprepared, looking horrible, or showing up with creases, and
No.
like at least warn you and tell you some of the things you do to give confidence. But then show up, do training with the crews. When you have a second, again, looking the part. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
I think
100%.
you have to make sure that they understand that, like, if something happens, we are good, without walking around and telling everybody.
Yeah, we've talked about
how
that
good you are.
before, where it's, as a contractor, you kind of have this stigma attached to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's your responsibility on when you go to morning briefing and division breakout that you're communicating, because as soon as you break that barrier and you just talk to them and they understand that, oh, you're figuring out where they're going, what they're doing for the day, and you can say, hey, I have this piece of gear, this piece of gear, this piece of gear. If anything outside of these things happen, and just 5 minutes with each kind of crew lead can be the difference between having a really shit role,
Right,
and people not talking to you or doing anything with you, to having a really good role where maybe you get to shoot the Berry pistol or throw some fireworks or whatever. Like it's a big deal.
It's important to integrate yourself with those crews, and like I said, do that training with them, talk to them. Don't just stand there. And you see that a lot with line medics, EMTs, where every morning, and you see the opposite too, where somebody won't stop talking the whole time. And
there's a balance.
But they just sit there and then nobody even knows their name. Nobody knows where they're going to be hanging out at.
Yeah. You never see them throughout the day. They like tuck around the corner and
Yeah, as a single resource, you definitely need to be comfortable going and introducing yourself to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just a few things you can do that make you look dialed, like with the crew boss or your division, pull out your Avenza map and like, hey, I got, you guys are going to be here today. Or if you don't know, ask. And then they're seeing like, oh shit, this guy's kind of dialed.
Mm-hmm.
But good way to break the ice on any conversation, I think, is to over maps, like, hey, where are we going to be today? They should definitely know where you're at. You should definitely, and then provide insight to them. I know we talked about this on our medical one we did, but also you're the medic. So if you're out there and something, the div is trying to put you over here, but that makes you 30 minutes from this crew and 5 minutes from this crew, maybe, hey man, here's what I was thinking. I bumped down the road a little bit. I'm closer to both people.
Yeah.
So,
or the higher risk activity.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Or just noticing what happened to me before I got to a fire and was on the division, and the division had been there for a long time. And I noticed there was no helospots on the map. So, hey, good morning. I noticed this. I'm going to go find us a helispot today. Go point it on the map, give it to them later. You have a helispot.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be uncomfortable to speak up and do those things because you show up and there's this big command structure and you think that everyone's got it figured out, but they don't have eyes on all the pieces on the lay of the land. So you have to be that kind of domain expert.
And they're thinking about firefighting.
Yeah. Right.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Medical's over here somewhere. Hopefully we don't have to use it, but...
Well, like you said, I think you got to be willing to, you got to grow a pair.
Yeah.
You got to be willing
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. And you got to be willing to speak up without, being a jackass about it. But like for example, this summer, we had one guy, a safety, that he insisted on, there's comms problems, of course, just like there always is at every fire. But people were having a hard time hearing each other, and so they wanted to set up like a human repeater in this one on this hill. But it was far, far away from where the fire was blowing up, where the shots are falling trees, the contractors are falling trees. Like it's craziness. But he kept asking me and one of the other medics to go sit up on this hill just to be the repeater. And like it's like once. Like, yeah, I guess I could help you out for a little bit,
Right.
But then it was to the point where he would go up there and then he would say, well, hey, I'm going to go down and meet with this person. I need the medic to come up here and replace me. Like he was so insistent on it. And then finally, had to speak up and say, listen, willing to help out with whatever, but like, this isn't my job. Also, if something was to go down,
and you have to leave.
I have to leave. There is no repeater.
Yeah.
And,
that's shit for everyone.
And we were a little bit surprised because, he was safety. You would think that would, he would realize that that's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up having to kind of like put the foot down and say, listen, we're not going to be doing that, so.
Yeah.
Which was very uncomfortable.
Nice.
It is. It's super uncomfortable.
Good on you for doing that. It's hard to do, but I'm the medic and I need to be where the fucking people are working. So
sure. I think actually Brandon showed up, and he was showing up a day or two before I was leaving. And I was like, just so you know, they're going to try to put you on this hill to do radio stuff. Like, don't let them do it. And
good pass down. And he's not, he probably wasn't even working he was working for his own company, I'm sure.
I think so.
So, yeah. When you show up, you're getting that pass, try and get that pass down from someone. And then when you're leaving, put yourself in their shoes a little bit and give them all that, download all that information for them to have is important.
Well, you have what is one of my favorite Instagram handles in the world, Undercover Dirtbags.
Yeah.
And I think you embody it so well because you are a professional. I can look at you and trust you. And I know I send you out with all my equipment. It's going to be okay.
Sure.
But then your footwear tells us that you're also a dirtbag. So.
Complete dirtbag.
So, yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so that reminds me, I did bring you guys presents.
Sick.
This
nice.
is First Ascent instant coffee. They're like little packets.
Thanks, man.
Super good. I had those. Those were actually sent to me while I was on a fire, and I really like those. I used them on my Mickelson hike, and they're just little, rip it open, pour it in, and it could be hot water, cold water.
Genius.
Take it straight to the head, put it in your lip like a Zimbabwe or whatever. But yeah, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These are awesome. We're gonna have to try these.
Yeah.
Maybe give some of these away in the next giveaway.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, it's kind of cool with Undercover Dirtbags. You end up meeting a lot of people like them, Wild Batch, a bunch of other different these businesses out there, where it's really good stuff for when you're out playing around, rock climbing, hiking, doing whatever. But also so much of that translates into the fire world too.
Yeah.
A lot of this gear, obviously the camping gear and hiking gear and all that, but like little things like this,
absolutely,
I find that make life way easier rather than, back when I first started doing some of this stuff where I'm just like the heaviest pack ever. And like, my backup stuff is like a can of chili or something.
Yeah. Wild Batch, one of them is super sick because you go out, everyone knows it. You go out on Wild and Fire, and when you're out on the line, it's 12, 16 hours of in the dirt, ash. I mean, no matter what you do when you go to the chow hall to wash your hands, it's not happening. And then it builds up, and that Wild Batch just takes it off. You had a deer hunting experience where you used it recently.
I did.
We'll add that video in, but
it will remove deer blood off of your hands.
Yeah.
But keep the camp crud away with Wild Batch.
Yeah.
Conveniently
Everywhere.
fits in your pocket in a cool tube.
And I think
now with screw top.
the screw top, yeah.
It is nice to have that.
And most of these things, like the instant coffee here and the Wild Batch, they're perfect sizes. You can get a handful of them for your season, but then they're super easy to throw in your pack, and they don't take up any space.
Right.
This is a good way to make friends. Hey, here you go, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't coffee up this morning?
Try
Here you go.
this.
Yeah. But Undercover Dirtbags, it was something that kind of started while I was still with Rapid City. But my wife and I, she's a nurse. And, she's a nurse. I'm a fireman. Classic, right? But
Tale as old as time.
right. We love the outdoors, and we love recreating out in the outdoors. And one of the things that we felt was important is to not just keep it to ourselves. We wanted people to understand, especially when we first started out. Like neither of us were, we still aren't like rich by any means, but we didn't make a ton of money, But we always found ways to be able to go on these trips. on the cheap. And so we wanted to be able to, it started off with, we were just going to share like travel tips and stuff. But then it was like, well, it's kind of hard to like keep up with in addition to regular jobs and everything. So we're just going to go out there and do stuff and then take cool pictures and videos while we do it. And kind of make it to where we inspire people to at least just get out. But yeah, we want to show people that, like anybody could do this. We're also professionals during the day and have regular jobs, sick time and vacation time, and you have to request things off, but still we were able to, take off and go to, Zion for 2 weeks or something or whatever. And then we do it with friends too. One of my buddies is a police officer. And he's a detective and he's got like a 410 schedule. But he was able to get off almost, I don't know, I think it was like 3 weeks or something like that and go to Africa with me.
Oh, nice.
So it is possible. You just have to have the motivation, to actually go for it.
And the discipline to keep up with it too. Mm-hmm. It can be tough.
And even if you have kids and stuff like that, there's a lot of dirtbags I know that are, professionals, but yet, they could still take their kids and go off on all these really cool trips. I just hate seeing people spend their whole life just in the same place, and the highlight of their year is like, oh, well, we went out to the lake for a week in the middle of August and drank a bunch of Coors Lights on the boat.
Or maybe they save up once every 2 years and go to Disney World.
Right. Yeah, there's so much more stuff. You could do a lot of these trips that we do, like you could go on 4 trips with the price that you pay for going to Disneyland once, So, but yeah, I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun going out and doing stuff and then, taking pictures of it and having people also say like, oh, you inspired me to go out and do this hike or to start climbing or whatever. So,
well, it's fun to follow.
Yeah.
Undercover Dirtbags on Instagram.
Yeah. We'll make sure we tag all that and it's in the description for people to find. And, if they have any questions about some of the products or whatnot that you've worked with or shot, we'll have them reach out to you.
We're getting into ice climbing season coming up, so going to be doing that. That's going to be on there pretty soon.
Do you do any of that in like Spearfish Canyon around here?
Yeah, we're going to try to hit everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty new at it, but
it seems fun.
We're going to go hard. We're going to go hard. We really did a lot of stuff. In general this year, a lot of trips went to Africa, Ireland, UK,
Wales,
a bunch of places, international, and then a lot of local stuff, like doing a through hike of the Mickelson, trying to set the fastest time for that. Made it successfully, which was really tough, but it was really cool.
Probably
cool
rewarding too.
Yeah. And then
how long is that? The Mickelson?
100. It's like 110 miles.
Damn.
But my goal is to do it in 36 hours, but I ended up sleeping way longer than I expected.
Whoops.
Yeah, so I ended up doing 46 hours, but still it was
impressive.
Pretty cool. And there's with fastest known times, obviously some guy a runner can come in with like just a pocket full of gels and run the whole thing and blow my time out of the water, but I want to do some of these where I'm establishing it, but backpacking. Yeah, carrying gear, not just
finding a spot to camp for the night.
With a little vest and squeezy pouches.
Yeah, so, and raw nipples.
Yeah. Band-aids on nipples.
Yeah,
or goon tape. Goon tape on the nipples just to help out.
Well, man, you live here. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely appreciate coming on. And appreciate all the opportunities that Minuteman's given me.
More to come.
We appreciate you.
Get ready.
It's hard to find good employees, so we definitely appreciate it.
Right on. Yeah, the Journeyman too. This summer, that was super nice to have.
Yeah,
the app to be able to do all the shift tickets on there without having to keep a book.
And all the extra paperwork. And
all the extra paper, remembering and pressing hard enough, like, and demob having, the ladies yell at you because, you filled that one little thing wrong. Now you have to redo the whole ticket and remember where it is. It was definitely really nice. I've been referring a lot of people too that have been, just the other day I worked, I've got a little side gig doing like rigging and stuff on ropes. And there was this kid that was working with me, and he was asking about how to get into things, and I was telling him about like going to journeyman. There's lots of job postings, and so
appreciate that. Thank you.
You guys are doing a good thing, and it's been a pleasure.
Hell
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
Thanks.